Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with another book review. This is the third and final book I have read by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is called The Poet X. You guys, I have to tell you, so this, if I'm remembering correctly, is her first novel, but I'm going to say something unpopular here. It is my least favorite. This is written in the similar form as Clap When You Land, but here's what I'll tell you. I feel like Clap When You Land was on like the next level of poetry perfection. Like it just read so beautifully and I was able to get into it so easily. I feel like the narration and the structure of Poet X wasn't as fluid. I feel like it was a little bit bumpier and less sort of cohesive and put together structure-wise. Plot was still interesting, characters still interesting, but I just feel like if I'm comparing the two similar writing formats, I put Clap When You Land above. And I think that it's a super high bar that was set. Again, this is good. This isn't garbage. Still read this. But I just feel like you could feel that this was the first take of her writing in this way. And then she very much perfected it when it came to Clap When You Land. So still enjoyed it. Just want to put that out there. Still enjoyed it, but just not as smooth and not as sophisticated as the writing in Clap When You Land. The central character of The Poet X is Xiomara Batista, and she basically is a quintessential teenage daughter who is struggling with immigrant parents who have come to America to provide the best life for their children because she is a twin, and she recognizes that, you know, apparently in her family, her mother getting pregnant was not expected. She struggled to get pregnant, so having these twin daughters is quite literally a gift. But of course, the gift of her being alive, her and her brother, comes with certain expectations, and her parents struggle with the idea of they want to raise their children in America and have better opportunities for them, but they also don't want them to be too Americanized. They want them to still maintain some of their Puerto Rican heritage. And this is really hard for Xiomara because she is someone who is struggling to fit the mold of her mother's expectations, and quite frankly, she doesn't really want to. She is not religious the way her mother is. She is not as devout and as just yes-mamming as her mom wants her to be. And so the whole story, the conflict is very much on her trying to navigate being a classic teenage girl, meeting a guy, liking this guy, but also trying to not be the epitome of everything her mother despises. And so we see those two things really come head to head throughout the whole novel. We also see Xiomara, she finds her escape through writing poetry, and she very much wants to join the poetry slam club at school, but she knows her mother, one, wouldn't approve of it, and also wouldn't allow her to miss her religion class to instead attend this poetry class. So in that way, I will say that to me, the plot came across as not super unique. I feel like that idea, that like conflict, is something that I've seen a lot in young adult literature. It was still good, but I feel like compared to Clap When You Land, I felt like that was a really diverse story and a different type of story, and it really caught me off guard. Whereas this, I liked it. I read this book in like 4 days. I read it really fast, but I just didn't feel super like captivated and felt like, oh my God, this is such an amazing and different and unique story. I felt like what made it unique was the writing in poetry form. That's what gave it its uniqueness, and not necessarily its plot. And so for that, I would say out of all 3 books I've read by Elizabeth Acevedo, I put this one third. I just feel like her other books that came out after this, her other novels, were so much more impactful and interesting and really took me to places I didn't expect. And I felt like this one just didn't quite achieve that. It's still good. It's still interesting. I would still read it. But if you're looking at this author and you're trying to prioritize like one book that you should read, here's my order. Clap When You Land. That is just a book every person should read. It's just really interesting and different. And again, great themes and great voices and great characters. Second on that list is With the Fire on High. I feel like that one also is very powerful. It also is a break from her poetry style and is still really well written. And I think that's really cool to see an author go in 2 different writing formats that are different but still be impactful. Like that one I'm all for. And then I give you The Poet X. That might be controversial, I don't really know, but that's just how I feel. I would love to know your thoughts if you have read any If you have read multiple books by Elizabeth Acevedo, I'd be really curious your thoughts on it. I will tell you that this author is officially very much on my radar. I do plan on keeping track of what she's up to and getting my hands on upcoming releases. I do hope she releases something new soon because I have really enjoyed reading these books. And I'll have to say, I do feel like a reading void after finishing this book and all her other books, where I look at a lot of my other books that I have, which you guys know I have a full bookshelf of them, and I find myself being like, no, I don't know, I don't really want to read that. I'm not really compelled, whereas all of her books I picked up, I immediately felt compelled and want to finish them, and I finished them quite quickly. I just have to say that I feel like she got better and better after the first one, and I don't know if I would still feel that way if I hadn't read this one third. Perhaps it will be different, but I feel like this one was good, but not amazing, which her other two books were in fact amazing. All right, guys, that is it for me and this particular video. I hope that you are having a fabulous day, and I do have more book reviews slated to film, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I can keep up with the filming abilities and be able to keep sharing with you guys all of the amazing books that I am reading. Have a great day.